This is Multiplaying, episode 41, recorded on Friday the 13th of August, 2010.
That's what you're bringing to the table.
That's what I am.
That's what you're doing.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
People are
I
gonna
had no
hate
idea it was Friday the 13th.
It is Friday the 13th.
It is. It's my parents' anniversary. Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. I don't think they know I do a podcast.
My dad sent me a text this morning. What's it like to... My dad sent me a text at 6 a.m. What's it like to be named Jason on Friday the 13th? And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to murder you. And then he sent back, I'll make sure to show you my tits before you kill me.
Oh, I love your dad. Hello, everybody. This is Multiplaying. Tonight on the show, we have Shannon.
Hi.
We have John.
Yo.
Jason.
Hello.
Dean.
Hi.
And me, Steve. First, we'll go around the table. What you drinking, Shannon?
I have a vodka martini, sir.
Vodka martini. What you drinking?
What flavor?
John? Oh, yep.
It is vodka flavored.
Vodka straight up in a martini glass. Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it has some dry vermouth in it.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, it's just a straight up vodka martini, yeah. I'm hardcore like that.
Nice.
All right.
No girl stuff. Sorry.
That's all right. What you drinking, John?
I am drinking a white wine. It's like Mickelsburg Pils Porter or something crazy German
There's
name
the
like
girl
that.
stuff.
Yep. Back to the girl stuff for now because I've got like 3 bottles of it. I have been avoiding it, and now I'm back to it. But it's like a dessert wine, so.
Ugh.
It's
like really
a
sweet.
Riesling.
Yeah, like a kind of like that, like a real sweet wine.
All right. What you drinking, Jason?
I'm drinking St. Pauli Girl.
Ah.
Pretty hot.
I don't know. I had this hunch you were going to have a game day, but it just wasn't happening tonight.
No, I wasn't. I didn't run by 7-Eleven, so.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right. What you drinking, Dean?
I'm drinking a Guinness.
Wow.
It's
Oh, I love a
delicious.
Guinness. It is
I
so
love
good.
I only got one, so got to make it last.
And I've got nothing but Diet Coke. I'm the DD tonight, I guess. Well, cool. This weekend gaming, what have you been playing, Shannon?
Played a little WoW.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of weird. Well, we had a lot of fun with it, and been doing a lot of like newbie experiences, and we had a couple people join the guild. And if you're a fan of the show and you have an active WoW account, and you're 18 or older, feel free to stop by Silverhand Alliance, even if you're not planning on playing long term. Because if you listen to the show, I don't promise to be there next week. Okay.
I played for,
So
I played for 2 days.
Yeah, see, we don't care. Like, we don't even care if you join or not. Like, I really don't.
No, that's actually our guild motto now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't care if you join.
If you're there for like
we don't
5
really-
days, we're like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, long-term
Yeah.
bastard.
What are you doing? You're making us look bad now. Get the fuck out of here.
But you can just pop in and do a Who Circle of Trust. All my characters are Zell-based, named ZL, so you can do a Who Zell. I'm usually not on. So
So that'll help you immensely.
but if you can catch one of us on and you want a guild invite, get a guild invite and just chat and play. We don't promise to play with you or help you in any way.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, that's what I'm bringing to the table there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have also been playing some WoW too, so enjoying the Death Knight immensely. So if you do see, if you happen to jump on and see a Slurms with a Z on the end, because that's more Death Knighty, I guess, and because I already had the other Slurms taken.
And
so
because you haven't been playing your other Slurms.
I
It's
know, which I've been told I have to.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. But you're not gonna, and I'm not gonna. I have no authority here. I can't really do anything about it. So
I know. I feel obligated to some degree, but at the same time, I was
know.
like, man, the Death Knight's so fun.
Yeah, that's
It
cool
looks awesome,
because
too.
It does.
the cool part about that is like having you at a higher level, and one of the that was the other part of what we've been doing this week is we have one of our new guildies. He has a higher level, and he's been running us through stockades. And we went through it a couple times, me and Dean. And then me and Dean went around on foot because he didn't have any of the flight paths and gathered all the quests after we did stockades like 2 or 3 times. So now we have all the quests for stockades, and now we need to actually go do stockades. But we went in to one of the stockades on a dungeon finder, and, you know, I hear all these stories. Oh, it's no problem. You know, the groups are pretty good. Everyone knows what they're doing. We had the worst group ever. Like,
or the best group ever, depending on how you look at it.
Oh my God. I was a shaman. I was the only one who had any healing ability at all. And I was pouring through mana pots like you wouldn't believe, because the tank would run into the room and then, you know, piss off everybody. But then everyone else was ranged, and they just plunked randomly all over the room. Like, so aggro's going everywhere. And then when people when the mobs would run out of the room, like, no one went after them or finished them off, so they would come back with friends and full health again. Like, oh my God. It was all, we wiped in stockades. It was the worst thing ever. But
it was terrible.
As soon as we got the group, I'm like, we are fucked. And why is that, Dean?
Well, we're fucked because the main tank, his name was Fuck My Head.
His name was Fuck My Head.
Which on an RP server that I feel is applicable.
Well, it's cross.
The dungeon finder.
I'm gonna go with that. He was on the RP server.
He was not. Like, it tells you what server they're on.
Oh, come on. Let me live my dream.
Okay, all right, it was. But yeah, his name was Fuck My Head. And the one hunter yelled at me because I was out of mana. Like, and I had just taken, you know, mana pots and healed it. Like, at one point, we had finally gotten through this clusterfuck of a room. And luckily, no one had died at that point. But then one of the hunters, he's like, why don't you res my pet? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, res your own pet. Because he's sitting there with, like, full mana doing just... I'm like, are you serious? I have no mana left. And it was awful. But anyway.
It was terrible. We wiped, and then Shannon logged, and then I logged shortly thereafter, and I was like, fuck this. No way.
Yeah. That was
I have not had any group experiences since I've been back. Other than like that first night that I jumped back on and was playing the noob character. But yeah, since I've been playing the Death Knight the past few days, I've actually had no group experience. So if anything, I'll be able to maybe jump in with you guys and be the big wall of meat so we can go through stockades or whatever.
Let me ask you, since you've been playing the Death Knight, if you had the same experience that I did and going through the phasing type of stuff, are you like totally pumped for Cataclysm now, or how they're going to do that?
I'm really not sure. I actually was going to write something up about that, but I'm kind of pumped because of how much I enjoyed the Death Knight starting area. It was so different from the WoW experience that I had like a couple years ago. Yeah, sure, there was still some bits of the standard quests like go kill 10 of these or go get me this, but there was the whole story through that, and just the feel of it was so much more crafted than anything in WoW that I've played before, that I'm like, man, I hope they take that that idea and that craft into Cataclysm when they recreate this world. And I've not read enough about what's going on in the beta to know if that's actually true or not, but it's kind of got me more I wasn't super interested with Cataclysm because I have really no desire to play one of the new races, but playing through the Death Knight area is actually making me interested in checking that out now.
Steve, I have kind of a dumb question. Is the Death Knight, is that entire experience, is it all solo, or are you with other people?
You can be with other people, but what it seems like right now is that it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people rolling Death Knights now, and I was actually reading on somebody else's blog today that they just about that, that they think that because you can only roll one Death Knight per server, like over the past X amount of months since Wrath of the Lich King came out, that everybody's kind of gone through that and checked it out that's going to, and now it's just like the few stragglers like me that are either coming back to the game or just finally are going, oh, okay, yeah, I'll check it out, that are going in there. Like the whole time that I was in there, I only saw probably 2 or 3 people
Wow.
And I can imagine when the expansion first came out, it was probably packed and like just crazy. And I'm not sure if I would have had a better time with the experience with all the people there or not, because so much of it is aimed towards you and your ascension. It felt like somewhat empty, but at the same time, as far as the story goes, it felt more personal. And it's actually kind of weird now that I'm out of like the ebb and hold stuff and I'm with like people that, okay, now I'm like not sure what to do.
Yeah, I totally lost interest at that point.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that I might have that. And I got to figure out what I got to get my feelers out there and see, okay, what do people usually do after they do the death?
I did that same thing. And that's what made me think like, okay, that was great. I am going to probably check out Cataclysm and hope there's more of that.
Yeah. What kind of bums me out is that, and I thought about this last night when I was playing a little bit. I didn't really do anything last night except for sitting around and chat, but I was thinking, okay, the new stuff's coming out for Cataclysm. What kind of bums me out is that I can't start a Death Knight at level 1. Because I really like this class. I mean, regardless of, people say that it's been nerfed or whatever, just the mechanics of it I think are just amazingly fun. And it's more along the lines of the tank that I wish I could play, but I want to see all the stuff from Cataclysm level 1 and up, and I don't think that you can do that. I mean, you're not going to be able to do that.
No, I think the way they define it as being a hero class, they're not going to let you do that.
Exactly. So I'm kind of bummed that I can't go back and see all the stuff just with a Death Knight. Because I would probably level 1 up again. But,
yeah.
But, oh well, that's been my experience. Covered my WoW experience for the week. So, you got anything else to add, Dean?
No, I haven't been playing a whole lot of WoW, unfortunately. Just with people when we're grouping, so.
Yeah. Shannon, you been playing anything else other than WoW this week?
No, sir.
No, sir. John,
Yes.
you been playing any games this week?
Some. I have been doing the normal League of Legends, Starcraft 2, and STO combo. Little light on the STO since Starcraft 2 is all shiny.
Right.
And then
I just
League of
got
Legends
my,
has,
Oh, go ahead. League of Legends has what?
a couple new champions that I'm just messing around with. What were you going to say about Starcraft 2?
No, I was actually going to say about STO. My account's actually been inactive because I had originally signed up with a subscription and I canceled it because I wanted to go to time cards. And I got my time card in the mail, so I should be able to play this weekend. So yay!
Hooray! I would, except I'm busy.
Yeah, but we'll get into that later.
Yes.
Indeed. You still enjoy? Have you been playing StarCraft 2 online at all?
I've only played 5, 6, maybe 7 games online, like legit multiplayer matchmaking games. The majority of them I've lost.
Yeah.
But actually, the majority of the ones that I lost were right at the beginning, and then once it placed me in a league, I got a couple games, and it was actually evenly matched games, which is something I really like about Blizzard's new matchmaking system and the Battle.net 2.0.
Right, because it's supposed to be like 5 placement matches, and then placing you in something that is in your ability range.
Right. So, like, here's what happened. Like, the placement matches are completely random. Okay. I mean, the first person I played was like a platinum player, and he decimated me. I mean, within the first 5 minutes, I was done. He completely destroyed everything. It was crazy. I mean, he had stuff in my base before I had anything built, and he was like, "Are you?" He was like, "Are you placing?" And I was like,
"You AFK?"
Yeah, why? yeah. He must have been like, "What's this fucker doing?" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm giving everything I got.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, "Are you placing?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Oh," and then he killed me. He's like, "I'm platinum." And I'm like, "Oh."
Did he say that?
Yeah, well, he was like, I'm platinum.
I'm platinum.
He's
Put
like,
his dick out on the table.
He's like, I'm in platinum league, and I was like, oh.
You know, that's actually kind of not a dick of him to say. Like, just to say. No,
because
it actually isn't.
Because he's saying, like, are you placing? Like, yeah, that's just the league. He's not saying, like, haha, you suck.
If some guy completely rolled me and then said, okay, I'm in this league, I'd feel a little bit better about myself than
like if the guy was like, I'm in Diamond League, I would have been like, oh well, then I don't even give a shit. You could kill me all you want because you're just straight up better. Like there's no way I'll beat you ever.
Isn't Platinum League supposed to be pretty good too?
Platinum is second best. Diamond is like Platinum was the best in beta, and then Diamond is supposed to be the elite.
Right.
Like the best players in the game. Anyway, so the first player was like Platinum. The second player, since I lost so bad, was Silver. And that was like, I was putting up an okay fight, but then he just killed me because I just don't know how to like expand at the right times and stuff like that. I'm not good with that. I don't use hotkeys. I still read stuff,
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too, man.
I'm like, what's this guy do? Oh, he doesn't attack air units. That's why he's killing my army. Ha! So in any case, so it's good. And then finally it placed me against some bronze players or whatever, copper, whatever it is. And then my actual placement matches, after the placement matches, I won 2 or 3 or something like that. And then once it placed me in the same league that I was supposed to be in, and then I went up against people of equal skill. So I like it actually because it places you against people that are on your level, so you can learn and kind of figure it out at the same pace. You have an even matched game. It's not like someone's going to come in there and completely roll you. And the things that people are worried about, like with smurfing is like if someone, it happens all the time in League of Legends, even though it's somewhat mitigated, where someone that's experienced will take their account or to make a new account and play all over again and maybe say throw their placement matches on purpose and get in the Bronze League on purpose and then get on a win streak.
What's the word smurfing? What does that matter to them?
I've never understood that because people used to do something similar to that back in Starcraft 1. I've never
in Starcraft 1, it broke your rating score. So basically, since you won so many, because you get bonuses based on how many games you've won, and you couldn't pass a certain league until you won X amount of games and stuff like that. They had very linear progression. You had to play 50 games and whatever, but you got bonus points for winning games in a row and stuff like that. So if you threw your practice games on purpose, you would end up shooting all the way to the very top of the ladder after X amount of games. And you would have the highest score. So then everybody did that. Everyone that cared about their score. Anyway, not the point. So that doesn't work in Battle.net 2.0 because if you completely spank a bronze level player, it's going to instantly kick you up to silver. And if you spank that person, it's going to be like, well, you're not in silver, obviously. So then it's going to kick you up to gold. So it's a smart system rather than whatever. There was also some concerns, actually, I'll bring up about hacking. Because on the campaign, I got stuck. On casual, I am that bad at this game, yes, and and I was like, well, shit, I just, I guess I'll have to cheat my way through because I forget what mission it was. It might have been the Thor, where they get control of the Thor or the Odin or whatever. You have to run it around the city. Anyway, so I couldn't do that for some reason. It was kicking my ass, and I was like, well, let me just cheat. And I don't use traditional cheat codes like type them in. I actually get trainers, which are designed specifically for single-player modes that don't work in multiplayer online. So I'm able to go through the story without having to worry about being actually good at the game or whatever. Turned out, the way Battle.net 2.0 works, the trainer works online, sort of.
Really?
Yes, but not really. It does, but not really. What happens is, and I tested this with one of my League of Legends friends, because I said, hey, I'm not sure, but I think it works, because I was playing a single-player game, and then one of my friends was like, oh, hey, let's play a game, and I was like, okay, whatever, and I forgot about the trainer. And I was like, let's play. And I started the game with infinite minerals and infinite gas and no food limit, and I'm like, wait. And then disconnected me from the game automatically. It disconnected me from automatically, so the system is smart enough to assume something is wrong and disconnect the game and just call it. But someone modified the code so that the trainer, instead of the game, instead of disconnecting you, it disconnects the other person, and you get the win. And Blizzard patched it, I think, luckily, but that was kind of an issue for a little while, for like a week or two, because someone, I guess, was climbing the ranks by using this modified whatever. Anyway, so, but yeah, for a while also, the only hack that worked was the map hack, so you could see the entire map. Everything else didn't work, but they fixed that as well. So Blizzard at least is on top of it, luckily. But yeah, that was an interesting discovery when I was like, wait, why do I have infinite? Oh, like.
Well, it's cool that they're looking for that though.
Yeah, they were on top. I mean, I discovered it, we tested it, and then like 2 days later it was patched, and it didn't work and stuff like that, which is very, very good. I'm glad that Blizzard's on top of that. So props to Blizzard for being, not lazy.
Did you beat the single player?
I did. I beat the
you?
single
Okay.
player finally with the cheat codes and ended up going through on brutal with the cheat codes to see just how brutal it was, and it's freaking ridiculous. Even with the cheat codes, I almost couldn't finish it. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And then I was like, this is ridiculous. With cheat codes, I'm not good enough to beat this game. What the F?
Wow.
This is insane.
I feel a little bit better now knowing that you use cheat codes, because on normal, that game can be tough at times. But
It is. It's a tough game. I mean, I'm not good at RTSs in the first place.
yeah,
So,
me neither.
so I went through on brutal and with the cheat codes, and I actually did finish the game. And again, this is another thing I didn't realize. In case you're worrying about achievements, like we talked about last week or week before, actually, if you use the trainer, you can still gain achievement points, and I didn't know that.
Oh.
And when I looked at my profile, all of a sudden I have 2,000 something achievement points, and I'm like, what? How is that possible? Oh, dawned on me later. So don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, so like, one of my friends was like, how do you have so many achievement points? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Gotcha.
I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, you have all these achievements, like you killed it on brutal and things. And I was like, oh, yeah, I cheated. He was like, but how, anyway.
No, you should have been like, that's right. I'm badass.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't care about achievements. I just got it through.
Nobody here does. But yeah, I need to get back in that game and finish up the single player. I'm
It's fun.
probably not very far into it. I've just been jumping back and forth to like tons of different games. So
Yeah, I actually played with a couple multiplayers already that were right on my skill level, luckily. So the thing is, like, I know strategies, but I'm not fast. So I know what I should be doing, but I don't know how, I'm not good at it.
I don't think I'm either. So
Yeah, me neither.
yeah,
I'm towards the end of the game, the campaign at least, I think. I'm really enjoying it. I kind of hit a brick wall in the beginning because I completely suck at these type of games. But I definitely have noticed that the campaign is making me a better player because it keeps throwing different things at me. And I love how varied the campaign is, how everything is new, and they're always kind of introducing things to you fairly gently. And I really love the way the campaign is set up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I need to finish that. But I still need to go back and finish Mass Effect. Jesus.
Yeah, you suck.
I know, man.
I saw you tweeting about that today.
I know. I'm like so thrown up in the air of what I'm gonna play this weekend. I have so many things I need to get back and finish. I still need to go back and finish Red Dead and Mass Effect 2 and Starcraft 2. So much shit. But is that all you've been playing, John?
Yeah, that's the only, like, new stuff, I guess you could say. So, yeah, pretty much.
Well, any more you want to add into the Starcraft 2 talk, Jason?
No, that's about it.
Anything else you've been playing?
Where are you at in the campaign, actually?
It's so hard to tell because the way it branches. I don't wanna
You
give
can actually
spoilers.
do the campaign in any order. Yeah. No, let's not do that.
You've been.
But I will say that one of my favorite parts were the mini campaign. I've done all of that, and that was a lot of fun.
Yes, that was cool.
Mini campaign?
Yes. I
Well,
don't
if
know
you're not
that's
there yet,
really
you'll find out.
Yeah, but that makes me look forward to the other game.
Next expansions.
Yeah.
Cool. You've been playing anything else other than StarCraft?
I haven't a whole lot. This week's been kind of rough at work, so I've been kind of wiped when I come home. But I have played a little bit of Limbo. I don't know if I've talked about it in the podcast yet.
I don't think you have, but I figured you would have bought that, and I'm very curious as to what you think, because I hear a bunch of different podcasts talking about it, and I'm really interested in it. I'm just not sure if I want to drop the cash on it.
Yeah, it's very intriguing. It's the best thing I can say about it is I love the old type of puzzle games where the puzzles made sense. And something that has annoyed me about adventure games in the last couple of years that have come out, something you have to look at a fact to figure out. Like, okay, this shit would not make logical sense to a person playing it. And that is the biggest compliment I can give that game so far. I'm probably halfway through. It's not a terribly long game, but I haven't looked any of them up at all. And as soon as I figure something out, I'm like, that was completely obvious to me. I should have figured that out, and I did after a little bit. Other than that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, as far as figuring out the puzzles, do you kind of eventually get into like the same mind frame as the people that create, like in Braid, like a lot of people kind of compare it to Braid, but just as far as the core idea that it is a side-scrolling puzzle game, but then the rest of it's totally different. But as far as like Braid, I eventually, after the first couple worlds in Braid, I got to this like on the same wavelength as to what they wanted me to do to figure the puzzles out, and then it wasn't super hard for the rest of the game. I mean, do you get that with Limbo, or is it like, does it keep throwing new things at you?
So far, I'd say it's probably pretty similar. The more I play, and especially the longer I play in one session, I can whip through them quicker. If I sit and play and do one area at a time, it's a little bit tougher. But if I'm in that mode, then yeah, I kind of know what they're gonna throw at me and what they'll do. The very cool thing about that game that I've noticed is the visual style and sound design of it. So kind of, it's a game that you really have to look at where you're going and look for the subtle cues, because it's a black and white game, and you really have to read the environment, and the lighting can mean a lot to what you're doing, and especially sound.
I remember
the
first time you stepped in a trap and got your head chopped off.
Yes.
This little boy gets his whole head just totally pops off his body,
It's
and I'm
pretty
like,
damn gruesome.
I was like, holy crap! Jason was like, oh my god, because it's so like, it was so cartoony, right? Up, like it's like, oh, that's so adorable, this cute little boy did. Oh my god, his head popped off. So yeah, we're like, okay, yeah, don't play this with Matt in the room.
Yeah, I've heard that's like pretty damn gruesome. Like somebody on one of the podcasts I was listening to was saying that there's like a part where there's kids hanging.
Yeah, but they're not real kids, from what you can tell from the story. They're fake.
All right.
But
the story is not. You wake up in the forest, and that's all it tells you. You're a little boy.
But it's not like Animal Crossing. You're not going to play it with your kids. Like,
Yeah, it's
okay.
they're like clone troopers that they just prematurely put out in the field.
No, what I took from it when I saw them was they were traps. They were these, whoever they are, trying to lure you into it. They weren't real kids who were hanging, which may not be the correct answer. I don't know,
I don't know.
But the whole idea is that it's not a game that's like a family friendly. It's definitely more mature setting, even though you're playing as a child.
Yeah, but it does have the best achievement that I've seen in a game, and I only got it because Brad Shoemaker and Giant Bomb mentioned it. When you first start off, it's a platformer basically where you go from left to right. And when the game starts, if you run to the left, you'll get an achievement, and the description is, that's not right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Cool. Dean, what you been playing?
I haven't been playing a ton, other than World of Warcraft, which Shannon already went over our pickup group woes. Since a lot of people haven't been playing WoW, I've seen a lot of Twitter activity from Nomadic Gamer and from Stargrace, and they've been talking a ton about Vanguard Saga of Heroes, and I've wanted to revisit that game for months, and so I finally just broke down and actually dropped $15 for the sub, and actually have started playing that again. This is totally irrelevant, so I feel bad talking about it because this game's almost
I know
dead.
absolutely nothing about that game.
Vanguard?
Yeah, I've
Vanguard?
never looked into it.
it's old school. It's like if you played the first EverQuest and you log into Vanguard, it's kind of like reliving when you first logged into EverQuest. It's very similar. There's a lot of a lot of new gameplay elements that are in the newer MMOs like WoW and EverQuest 2 and stuff like that. But it still's got a really old school feel, and it's this huge world. So I started out with the newer content that they created called the Isle of Dawn, and by newer content I mean I think it came out in 2008. It's amazing.
Really?
It's basically it's a newbie island that takes you through progression of the 3 different spheres that are within Vanguard. And when I say spheres, it's like normal MMOs usually have adventuring, which is like questing and killing stuff, and then crafting. And then Vanguard has an additional sphere, which is called diplomacy, and it's a card game, but it's not like a trading card game. It's an interesting game where it's a solo thing where you encounter an NPC and then go through a strategic card game in order to basically extract a story from them. It's really interesting, and I never really gave that a chance when I had originally played Vanguard, and the quest lines that they had on the Isle of Dawn for the diplomacy were incredible, and they end up in this huge temple where you're not forced to really do any combat or anything like that. You're just forced to play this card game, extract a story, and kind of learn about the lore of the world, and it hooked me. And I got off the island, and that's what I've been doing ever since. I've been doing all of these crazy long diplomacy quests, learning about the lore of the world, going all over Telon, the 3 different continents. There's Kojan, Kalia, and Thestra, and just like they send you to the corners of the earth. So if you really like exploration, and if you really like to see different areas and just go off the beaten path, if you follow these quest lines, it takes you there, and it really satisfies the kind of exploration drive, if you will. So I've been having a hell of a time with that game, and it finally runs good on my system that I have here. I've had to do some tweaking, but I finally got it to where it works well. And the game, it looks good sometimes, it looks like ass other times, but for the most part, it's just been, honestly, it's been an incredible experience. So if anybody is thinking about Vanguard, seriously, just expect an old school experience. Play that 14-day trial, do the Isle of Dawn, go through all 3 spheres, and play the diplomacy. It's fucking awesome. Anyway.
Great.
Yeah,
it's been one I've heard about for a long time, but I've never looked into it. I've never even put my eyes on it. So
well, a lot of people just pass it up, and they're just like, "Oh, that's Vanguard. That's the failed game that nobody's ever played or whatever." And it's, if you have some patience and you give it the time of day, you're presented with probably one of the biggest game worlds that I've ever seen. And going back to WoW, it feels like you're on a rail shooter because Vanguard is like so expansive. You can literally rent a flying mount and then fly from one city just over to the other city across an ocean or something. It's insane, the scope of this game, and ultimately kind of what made it fail. But it's just amazing.
Because people were not ready for a game that big.
No,
I mean, like the only people that would have enjoyed that would you might be able to appreciate this, Jason and Shannon, is the people who played Dark Age of Camelot, where it took forever to travel from one place to another, but it added.
No, I didn't play it either.
He didn't really. He just said he did.
And Steve.
What the hell is that?
Hang on, Jen's getting the bed ready.
Yeah.
Getting the bed ready? Holy crap, man.
Going to Vanguard, one of the things I've noticed is a really recent spark in interest in people who I think they really enjoy that game. They have a lot of passion for that game, and they're afraid that it's going to get shut down soon. So they're trying to get people to get on board, experience it before it ends, and it kind of makes me want to try it because it reminds me of what people talked about Star Wars Galaxy before they changed everything, like that type of passion that people talk about. Like, this is here, and come experience it before it's gone.
Yeah,
I had probably one of the most funs I had in like a beta was probably in Vanguard, just in the world itself. And I didn't have a great computer at that time, so it didn't run very good. But I mean, just the world itself. I mean, everything about it reminded me of Dark Age of Camelot, as far as the way different classes and species restrictions and all that kind of stuff, and the fact that the world is so huge and stuff like that. I couldn't, my computer couldn't run it at the time, and the beta was bad enough as it was, and I was like, dang, I wish that it was more polished and stuff, and I keep thinking, oh, I should go back and try it again, but until you said it now, Dean, I've never really been like, oh, I'll do it.
Yeah, and it takes a certain amount of patience, but I mean, it ultimately, the amount of time and the amount of patience that you do put into it, it's incredibly rewarding. I mean, just the amount of detail down to the taverns, and just you can go into every single building pretty much that you see, and there are NPCs, and they talk to you, and they almost all of them have a story. So it just, the amount of love and the amount of just effort that they put into this game, it makes me sad to think, oh my god, this was somebody's vision, and now look at what it's become. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as someone that, again, I have no idea, no prior knowledge of the game, is it on the verge of shutting down?
No,
No.
it's in life support right now, and basically the Vanguard players that I've been, just talking in general or checking out the forums or whatever, basically it sounds like Sony's probably going to continue supporting it as long as they can make money, because it's only on a single server right now. There's there's not multiple servers, so as long as that single server can sustain itself, they're probably going to let it
Gotcha.
continue to flourish. And there are enough. The community's not small. I mean, I'm in game and I see people all the time.
So it's one of those
Yeah,
things that there's probably not going to be any major additions to the game. It's going to be what it's going to be right now.
There's no more devs.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, I guess there was a big shakedown in July or something. There's no more development on the game, so that bug that you notice is never going to go away, probably.
Wow. I mean, even though, again, I don't know about the game, but that even makes me sad to hear that it's a game that's just on its last leg. So
It's an interesting perspective, but it is, again, like, seriously, before it shuts down, it's something that people need to experience, because it's honestly, it's not really anything like anything out there right now.
Yeah, that's true.
there you go, people. Go check out Vanguard.
Go play Vanguard with me.
Yeah.
You're
Except
not
I'm
doing
playing
anything
diplomacy.
else better. Come on.
You're not doing anything.
Just playing with your dick.
I
Yeah.
know. Sitting there with a bowl full of Jello and your dick in your hand.
So that's what I've been playing.
All right. Let's see. I have been playing so many brand new games. It's ridiculous. I've been playing... let's see. I've been playing Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves on the Dreamcast.
Oh, that just came out.
I did. And it is awesome. I've been
Did you get
playing...
that at Babbitt's?
No, I had to go to Walden
Funko
Software. I went and got Food Fight for the Atari 7800.
I thought you already had that.
Oh, you
No.
got that Montgomery Wards?
Yes, and it's awesome. And then I had to head over to Sears and get Dragon Force for the Sega Saturn.
I heard they have a Hardee's in the food court there.
They do, and I got that big juicy
Jack in the
burger.
Box.
Mhm.
An ex-
But I think my
you
next
wearing your hypercolor shirt.
I was, and my Ray-Bans. Yeah. Then I'm planning on going and picking up Secret of Mana for the Super Nintendo. I think it comes out next week.
Oh, you might have to reserve that.
I think
You
so.
probably can't find that unless you reserve it.
I'm going to have to. I wonder if I get a subscription in Nintendo Power when I do that. But no, and
Probably
also...
Game
Huh? What's that?
Probably Game Pro. You might get a Game Pro subscription.
Was it got the rating scale with the pictures of the guy and the guy's face?
Yeah,
More
you can tell how
extremely-
happy he is. And you could probably watch the game show hosted by J.D. Powers.
Oh God, man!
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's playing games that are like kind of no longer relevant.
Yeah. In all seriousness, I'm post upcoming because the upgrade is nearing completion. But I've been spending the past week slowly moving some stuff around in the old office here and hooking up a lot of my old console systems, and it is magnificent. Let me just say
Yeah,
that.
it
But
looked
yeah,
pretty cool from the pictures you were
it's
posting.
so much better now. Oh god.
Have you posted an
So
updated
jealous.
picture since that one?
No, and I just made a slight change to the setup today. So yeah, pictures will be had this weekend, and
I
hopefully.
must say you had the best response when someone was completely jealous of your spread. That
Oh yeah.
I would aspire to be someone who doesn't have to game in an office, in a closet.
Yes, exactly. I think it was Solvarnan, or I think that's how you pronounce his name on the forums, was saying that he was very jealous of me, and I was like, I'm jealous of people that have like dens.
Yeah.
Or Steve?
Because let me say, there's no air in this room, and right now it's fucking hot in here. But anyways, taking my pants off. Not really, but besides the old school stuff, I've been playing some Super Street Fighter 4 still. Not in the past couple days, but going back kind of to the kind of conversation that John was having with Starcraft 2 and the system that it has to balance out players. You can feel it so much in Super Street Fighter. The ranking system I think really works because it seems that I can get a character to rank C. And then that's as far as I'm going to go, which is probably pretty bad because it goes like rank D, D+, then C, C+, and then all the way up to A. And I tell you, it's like 50-50 on the matches that I play in C.
But that's the point. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
when I play StarCraft, I know I'm never going to be in that high ranking league, but are you having fun playing the matches you're playing?
Exactly. I am, but I guess I am and I'm not because the people that I play... I would say 75% of the people that I play either play as Ken or Ryu, and I have a hell of a time beating them. Anybody else, I really don't have a problem with. Which
well, that goes back to those two characters being
and they're just such core and exactly cheap. They can be so damn cheap that I don't know. It can be ridiculously hard to play against them because I don't like playing as them because I've never liked that class, those two characters anyways, but I typically use either Abel or Ibuki, and regardless of who I use, I don't know, I have a hard time with them. I've also been playing some Toy Story 3. Yeah.
Oh, I want to know how that is, because my son's been bugging me for it.
It's good. The single player, I should say not the single player, but the story side of it, where you actually kind of go through the story of Toy Story 3, but you really don't do anything directly from the movie. It's all kind of like stuff that could have happened on the side. That stuff's actually pretty good, even though a lot of people will say that's the worst part of the game, that the toy box mode, which is kind of like your open world mode of Toy Story, is so much better than what actual like gamers like you or I or the listeners would enjoy, and it is really good. The toy box mode is fantastic, but I actually did enjoy playing through the storyline stuff. My kids really enjoyed playing through that stuff, and they loved watching. Especially my daughter loved watching me play that.
Was she able to play? Because I gotta have my kid be able to play some of it.
I will say this: it was hard for me.
Okay.
I'm not a gigantic fan of like action adventure type games, but there are parts in it that are just straight up fucking hard.
What about the toy box mode? Can they go in and mess around with it?
There's a better chance of success in the toy box mode,
Okay.
but I will say I have to play more of that. I've only probably put about 45 minutes into it, so I don't know what happens later on, but it's all very like WoW Quest type stuff. That it's very open world. You can go and get money from people from doing these little missions, like running around the world and collecting all the cows that got out of the pen or whatever. But then the side part of that is like you can upgrade your town in the toy box, and all the little stuff that you can do in there. It's really cool. It's very well done, and more people are talking about the toy box mode as the best part of that game. But I think both parts are good. So,
kind of go off tangent really quickly. I've been exposing my son to many different games, and a lot of them he's gotten fairly okay at. Like he gets the concept of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and a couple of the Wii games, but I put on the demo for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and that kid was doing awesome at it. And he was, I mean, it's basically, for people who don't know, I don't know, it's kind of a ripoff of River City Ransom, which I loved.
Okay, I was looking at it like Double Dragon, but
Yeah, well, the same type of thing.
yeah.
But he is beating up dudes, and they're dropping money, and he's collecting it, and he's walking, and I walk back in the room, and he's walking over him, and he's like, Dad, they're dropping money. I'm going to take that money because I deserve money. And I'm like, okay.
God,
and he beat the demo. And I'm like,
wow.
God, Jesus. Like, I mean, that was the first time I kind of saw him completely click with the video game. So
See, my daughter plays a lot on the computer, and she's a freaking whiz, amazing at 4 years old of what she does with the mouse. Not so much with the keyboard side, but just like on Flash-based games on like Disney sites or PBS or Nick Jr. She can go nuts, and just she does not want to get off of there. We have to like get a crowbar and put it under her ass and pry her off of that. But that's part of the reason why I kind of wanted to hook up all the old systems in here, was that I want to kind of get some of those old core games and let her kind of go at that and get the feel of what it actually takes to use a controller.
Because a lot of that are what you played when you were younger, too.
Yeah, and I had wrote something up a long-ass time ago about, like, if I really even need to do that, or if that'll even apply to newer games. And the more, like, I see her playing, and the more, like, how difficult some of the kids' games are, sure, she's maybe not really intended to be playing that for another 4 or 5 years, but I figured, man, hey, if I get her started on some of, like, the old games now, that's just even more prepared that she will be for that. Which sounds weird. It sounds like I'm getting her ready for, like, college football. But
no, definitely.
Gotta get her into the pros. But
well, yeah.
But yeah, it's bonding, so that's good.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. I mean, because they're not that far apart in age, and I look at it as him, like, you know, and the same thing that you've said, especially the Scott Pilgrim kind of made me think of, like, wow, I played games like that when I was around his age, and to see him kind of take to that and have fun with that kind of makes me feel good that he's playing that same type of thing and getting the same type of experience, and will then go on to, you know, different things.
Right. All right. But other than Toy Story, I've been playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 some more. That is just continues to be an amazing game.
I need to play that.
Yeah, I want to get that.
I for like a while there was just nothing really exciting me about the Wii. But then it takes something like that to like totally sell me on the system. But I still go back to what I said before, that I wish they were making an HD version. But anywho, other than that, the only other thing I've been playing, not so much Starcraft 2, I've been playing the Need for Speed Shift demo, because it's the only damn game that I have right now that will actually work with my new Logitech wheel.
The only game?
The only game. I used to have Dirt 2, but I got rid of it because I just wasn't playing it, and I figured, okay, Gran Turismo is going to come out, and then I just find out, a week ago, that they showed a video off for Dirt 3, and it looks just, it looks so amazing.
Are you sure Test Drive 2 does not work with it?
I don't have Test Drive 2.
Oh, I had it on my Tandy.
I'm so out of whack on like what number Test Drive's even on anymore. It's never been like a racing series that's, I don't know, I've seen eye to eye with, so.
Oh man. It doesn't work with Blur? Is this for your PS3 or is this for your PC?
I will say, I do still have Blur, and it does not work with Blur.
What the fuck?
Because Blur, they must just consider an arcade racer, and they do not have wheel support. Lame. So the only thing that I've had to play around with the wheel with is the Need for Speed Shift demo. The really only reason I bought the wheel, though, is for Gran Turismo 5, which is, I'm hoping that it still comes out in November like it's supposed to. I figured I better buy the wheel now, a few months ahead of time, because when that game drops, I have a hunch that wheels are going to be in short supply.
When is Tokyo Game Show? Is that September?
Got me.
Because that's probably, I'm assuming that's
I'm not attending it, so.
Well, no, it's in Japan.
Exactly.
Like, it should be out this, winter, Christmas.
Yeah, well, it says November 2nd.
At GameStop?
No, that's the date that they came out with. It said it will definitely hit November 2nd.
All right,
so,
okay.
Yeah, but then I know like the guys over at Giant Bomb have a bet whether that will actually hit on the 2nd or not.
September
So, yeah.
18th and 19th.
Oh, the Tokyo Game Show?
Yep.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'm super psyched about the wheel. So far, I will say it's the Logitech Driving Force GT. It's actually the one that's made for Gran Turismo. It's got the little dial on it, so you can actually make like changes to your car on the fly with some of the, like the suspension settings. So I'm super excited about that because I've never had a wheel before for video games.
Does it do gear shifts?
It actually does sequential, like up and down. The more expensive version than this one was actually like 130 on Amazon. There is the Logitech G27, which is like 250 or 230 bucks
Jesus.
on there. It actually has a completely separate mountable shifter, which actually has a full H pattern on it, and the pedals actually has a clutch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
It would be awesome, but I didn't want to drop another $100 on a wheel.
Oh, man.
God, that'd be like the old test drive. No, not test. Yeah, test drive, the Atari one. Do you remember
Yeah.
that? The arcade machine? Oh, God, I love that.
Had a clutch?
Yeah, it had a clutch and everything.
Oh,
and I
dude.
always fucked up when you had to try to get through the loop-to-loop. Like going upside down and getting through the thing. Oh, God, I always messed up.
Yeah.
There was a loop-to-loop?
Yeah. Used to play it at Chuck E. Cheese. Showbiz here.
Showbiz Pizza.
Yeah.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, it was test drive by Atari. It was crazy. And I had the version for my Atari Lynx. Thank you.
Which you still have 4 of.
Yep. I think I have 3. But I might
Jesus, I can't believe you still have that.
Behind plexiglass.
Hey, but I can't really talk though because right next to me right now there is a Neo Geo Pocket. So
You're touching
I'm
it.
so fucking jealous. God, I want one of those. Do you have a Wonder Swan color? I think I asked you before.
no, no. But you know what is like just sad? And I had to keep myself off of eBay. As I was going through the Colossus and putting all the systems in here, I had this like inkling in the back of my head. It's like, you know what I really want that I've always freaking wanted so bad ever since I worked at a video. No, I really badly want a Neo Geo AES unit, which is the Neo Geo console that you could actually plug the arcade carts into.
No way.
Yeah, I've
They
wanted
had-
one. Yeah, they sold it for like a limited run over here in the States, but you can still get them on eBay. But they are still, and always have been ever since I looked into them, they're still like 350 bucks.
Did you have the regular Neo Geo console?
Which one? The CD?
Any of them.
No, because I believe over here Neo Geo only had the AES and the CD, and the CD was okay, but I guess the load times were horrendous.
Are you sure? I thought they had the regular Neo Geo console here.
They had it, but it was the one with the gigantic cartridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the AES unit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the one that's like super damn expensive, and you can, like I said, you can still get them, but they're just damn expensive.
Weren't those like $600 at launch
Yes.
in like 1992 or whatever
Yes,
it was?
which was just insane. Yeah, because imagine like the 3DO came out at like $300 and people thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
And the Neo Geo cart unit was like twice as much, so nobody bought it.
Yeah, but they had awesome games.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Fighter
Because
games.
it was the actual physical carts that they used in the arcade machines. That they
Yeah,
would
it was
plug
like
in.
having an arcade machine in your house back then.
Amazing. I want one
that's
so
crazy.
bad. I want one
I had
so
no idea that even existed. That's
Yeah.
insane.
I have actually played on a couple of them back when I worked at a video game store around here. It was just most
Yeah, I remember
badass thing.
walking into Babbage's and like, oh, that looks awesome. You can't get too close to it, and you got to walk out the store. Like, does that look awesome? Look awesome, right?
Massively multiplaying.
Just quick few things. First off, Star Wars: The Old Republic Space Combat.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about this, and before John rapes me, it could still be good. I'm not saying that it will not be a good thing, but I have like even worse feelings about it now than what I did when we were talking about it before. It's come out that it is going to be a quote-unquote tunnel shooter, which if anybody doesn't know what a tunnel shooter is, based on what it's called, it is, you're kind of on rails. People a lot of times we'll call it a rail shooter. I don't like calling it a rail shooter because in rail shooters you really don't have total control, any control I should say, on what your ship does. A tunnel shooter, you're going down a path, a very linear path, which may move frequently, but you can control your ship within this tunnel and shoot at the same time. So it could still be just amazingly fun, but it's nowhere near what I wanted. What are your guys' thoughts?
Maybe it'll be like vector based, like the Star Wars arcade game. That was fucking awesome.
That would be pretty bad.
Then I would play it. Then I'd be okay.
John? Jesus, are you awake?
No, I'm just kidding.
You dick.
So since I've been doing other things, I haven't even heard about this, honestly.
Okay.
So I can't comment on that.
It's a tunnel shooter.
It's a tunnel shooter.
So I mean, tunnel shooter, it could go either way. It could be complete crap. It could be fun. I don't know. It's disappointing, definitely. But you know, I mean.
Yeah, we still got to see the final version to see if it's any good. But
yeah, I mean I don't know. They could call it a tunnel shooter and make it more of a larger area than we're initially thinking of. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't seen anything. Haven't heard anything. It could be like a tunnel shooter in the sense that, I don't know, you can only fight, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of an example, but like you can only fight through the trenches of the Death Star or whatever,
right.
But that's a pretty awesome scene. You know what I mean?
But
I don't know.
I think that's what they're getting at with it, though, is that they want it to be more of a cinematic experience. More
it was
of
solo, too, right?
Yes, that's the other thing that this was big. Just hearing tunnel shooter wasn't the big downer. The big downer for me was hearing that it's solo. It's going to be a solo thing only at first. They said they hope to put in group play eventually, and I think they said possibly PvP combat, but there is no plans on that right off the bat. It's just going to come out as this is what you get. It's a tunnel shooter solo.
How can you make space combat as an afterthought in a Star Wars game?
In
2010, 2011, whenever it's coming out.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Because BioWare's an RPG developer.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
how do you expect them to do?
They've never done it before, so.
Yeah, like, okay, think about if anyone who's listening has ever played KOTOR. The only space combat they've done is turret defense.
Right.
Minigame.
Minigame, yeah. They've done minigame, which, you know, the minigame is like, okay, whatever. But you expect them to turn around and do something they've never done before. They are an RPG developer. They're not a space. Like, if you take NetDevil / whoever's making Jumpgate Evolution and you hired them to do that part of the game, that would be badass. Or Homeworld, or, you know, I don't know, whatever. Like X-Wing. Or whatever, stuff like that. If you hire that developer to do it, but then you got to piece together code that's not the same, and it's, you know, that's a big mess. And then plus you have leaking issues. And anyway, so it's like telling it's like, it would be like telling Westwood Studios, who did like all the red alerts, to say, hey, guess what, you're gonna make an RPG. You know, like they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, but they also didn't have the financial backing of Electronic Arts behind them.
I guess
right, but you could give a hobo all the money you want, but he's not gonna work.
You don't have a BioWare's on a hobo, man.
All the hobos listening, I'm sorry.
All hobos listening to the podcast.
You could give, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could give a painter as much money as you want, and he still won't know how to build the frame.
I understand.
We apologize to all painters.
My counterpoint to that is BioWare's also never made an MMO before, but they're doing that.
Correct.
Yeah, it's very true. Of course, all you really need to do to an MMO is take their RPG awesomeness and then put it on servers with other people. You know,
and that's so easy.
I'm just saying, like, that's probably what they were thinking. Like, hey, let's just take the games they've made and put them on huge servers with other people. Yeah. And then, you know, then probably. I don't know.
It could, like, again, it could be badass, and it's not going to stop me from playing the game. So.
Yeah, I mean, like Star Wars Galaxies, for example. I never played the space combat, and I had so much fun in that game. It's ridiculous. So I don't know. Good point. No idea.
We'll see. Quick note for all you Warhammer people out there, which you probably already know. The one thing I'd read recently that they are planning on doing is removing collision detection for your allies in RVR. And I have not read the entire patch notes, so I can't really talk about that very well, but that's the one thing that really stuck out, something that was hit on Twitter the other day that they were doing, and I just had to repeat that I think that's awesome.
I'm shocked it took this long for them to do it.
And that was one of the things that I absolutely hated in the game. And I know
Yeah.
a lot of people that are playing Warhammer will probably think that I'm stupid for saying that, but it's one of the little things that I thought that, you know what, why don't they just take that out? Because I always, from day one, well, whatever day into the game that I decided to start doing RVR, when I started doing Open RVR, one of my big pushes away from the game was the performance issues. And they've cleaned up so many of them from when the game started, but that's always been one that's there that's like, you know what, why couldn't they just take that out? I would imagine that would remove so many checks to the server that it would clean up a lot of performance issues. And it's one more thing, and I never understood why it was there in the first place. So I thought collision detection for enemies is amazing. I thought it was fantastic that somebody would actually put that in an MMO. But I never understood the allies thing, so I'm kind of glad. I want to see where they go with that. I hope it works out, and I think they already said that if it doesn't work out well, they're going to throw it back in, but...
So, to clarify on what you're saying, it's still there for enemy, right?
Correct. Like, you will still be able to... as far as I could take from the notes, that you could still make a shield wall, like on a keep or whatever, but it's like getting... If there's already a shield wall there of your allies, you can run through them.
That's
good. That's the game I'm like, I could go play a month of WoW. I mean,
Warhammer, yeah.
But I'm enjoying Star Trek, everything else, but I'm gonna go try that out again here pretty soon. Just 1 month of it at least.
Yeah, I could see doing that. I want to see how this goes and how the whole patch is received. So, again, if I'm not playing the game currently, so if you are playing and you have issues with what I just said, or if I said something incorrect, please email us at multiplaying@gmail.com and say Steve's an asshole. Last thing we want to talk on in Massively Multiplaying is new Guild Wars 2 video, and it looks amazing as shit.
Yeah.
That's really all I got to say about it. Yeah, it's oh god, that
everyone has their opinion on Guild Wars 1. I think Guild Wars 2 is going to be the hotness as it creeps up upon people. I'm one person who loved Guild Wars 1 with all the flaws because it was so different. It wasn't a traditional MMO. And especially seeing, I love how in these trailers they show the developers talking. And what they say just gets me giddy.
It's not just what they say, it's how they say it.
Yeah, and they show proof. Like they say stuff and actually show shit, video right next to it.
Like the centaurs.
Yeah, it's not like those MMO developers who are like, this is gonna be amazing. You're gonna love this, and
we're gonna have a CG video for you in a couple months.
Yeah, like they talk about it, and then they will show video of what they're talking about right then.
My favorite part is that the developers only talk for the first third of the video, and the other 2/3 is just play. No talking, just
in-game
gameplay.
shit. Yeah.
It's just they're just like, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk for the first 2 minutes, and then let the other 6 minutes speak for themselves.
I think the art style, though, especially what they've shown in that, is just it makes me really excited because it looks like one of those art styles, such as kind of like WoW, that is gonna last for years.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, and I personally think the first one had that. I mean, I can still log into the first one.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
This is a pretty decent looking game. I mean, when did the first one come out? The first version of Guild was like
a long time ago.
Something like that.
Hold on for confirmation. Everybody's googling as fast.
I'm gonna guess 04, same as WoW. 04 or 05.
05.
Yeah.
5. I mean, really, the first one was
2000 April 2005 is what I'm reading.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, it's aged really, really well.
I mean, that was over 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it still looks good.
Yeah.
There are certain parts that still look really good.
Yeah.
And from looking at the video, it's like you're saying, Dean, the artistic style goes a long way. That's looked good for a long time.
As stupid as this sounds, I'm a huge fan of high fantasy, and the first Guild Wars wasn't super high fantasy. I mean, you're all humans and stuff, and as lame as it sounds, I'm really excited for some pointy ears.
Yeah, I agree. They're finally letting you do some different races because they showed them in the first one, but you could never play as them.
Right.
You couldn't play as, or you couldn't play. I mean, they even showed Dwarf in the first one. I don't know if they've confirmed that for the second one, but the other races too, you could have them maybe as heroes, but you couldn't have them as an actual playable race.
Yeah, the one, and I'm going to sound dumb because I didn't look it up beforehand, but the short little, I don't know, what the hell is the name of the race?
That's just what I was thinking of.
The lore surrounding those guys is awesome too. I'm sorry, go on.
No, because I don't know what the hell to say. Well, I don't know what the hell they're called, but they have the giant, like, robotic-looking pets. Just look fucking awesome.
I know what you're talking.
Sylvari?
Yeah, they're called Sylvari.
Well, they look badass.
Yes, they do. I agree.
And I'm usually one that I'm typically the guy that likes the melee combat and more tank-type classes or DPS classes, but that just looks like fun.
I'm so excited for that game. I cannot wait.
I hope it. I think it's gonna. I don't know. I hope it. They keep saying that it's going to make everybody question what an MMO should be, and they're gonna really push the box. And I really hope it does.
Just one more thing to add about that is that even if it fails in the MMO aspect, with playing Guild Wars, the original campaign and the Nightfall campaign, even if it's a $50 box, you're still guaranteed an awesome solo campaign.
Right.
Exactly. Yep. That's what I had said on our forums earlier today. Was I bought every box in the first one, and I don't play it consistently, but I definitely feel like I got my money's worth out of what I paid. And the fact that they're doing this without a monthly sub, it's gonna be crazy.
So when you started saying that, Dean, I thought you were gonna say even if it fails, I hope even if it fails, it could win as long as it really makes people question what an MMO should be.
That too. I mean, if they introduce elements that are revolutionary, then obviously it could influence the future.
Yeah. So cool. I hope that all works out, because then we have two big MMOs to look forward to rather than just waiting on the Old Republic. So awesome.
Recently on Multiplaying.
What I am about to show you next may shock and educate you.
What's been going on Multiplaying?
Hi. It's a special treat tonight. We have Paz Lupo John on the scene at the Star Wars Celebration 5 in Orlando, Florida. I don't know if he's coming through or not.
John, are you there?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here, guys. I'm over here at the convention center.
It sounds a little crazy there.
Yeah, I'm out here. I'm just walking up.
Okay.
Essentially, there's thousands of people here. It's pretty crazy. You should see the outfits.
It sounds great, but you might want to get out of the road.
Here.
A lot of people are honking. You might want to
Oh God. Get the hell out of here. Look, hey, listen, hang on, Shannon, hang on. I got this person honking at me. I'm moving already. God. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm getting out. Hang on. Let me go inside.
Okay. Make sure you Foursquare it and Twitter it to everybody you know.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm inside now. Thank
God.
So,
are you safe?
So yes, the taxi driver who was honking at me, he was chasing me, but luckily some stormtroopers, they stopped him. Nerds got to watch out for each other. So.
Did he have droids?
Who? Which one?
Did the taxi driver have droids?
No, that's why they stopped him. They were like, listen, buddy, you got to have droids, at least, to walk by here. So, anyway.
Just in case, like, some of our...
Can you get to a quiet room?
I know.
Oh, okay, all right. Let me find a quiet room up here. Okay,
hang on. Bathroom. Go to the bathroom.
Now, some of our Twitter fans may, they actually were getting a little confused because I've been doing retweet at Pezzalupo and then sending awesome pictures and messages about the Star Wars Celebration V, which is going on right now in Orlando, Florida.
What, in where, Florida?
Lando in Lando, Florida.
Okay, Lando, Florida.
Lando, Florida. And but when they go to visit John's Twitter feed, which is Pazzalupo, there's no tweets there. And so people are kind of like, what's going on? And so I had to explain, John does not have a smartphone. So he actually texts me his comments and his photo. And then I have a smartphone. So I save it and retweet it out. But I don't want people to think that I'm there. And like, it's not my photos. It's not my comments. So I want to give him credit. So I'm doing retweet. I don't know how like the proper way to do that.
You're retweeting what he's never tweeted.
Yeah, I don't want to plagiarize his tweets. So
I think you're doing fine.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird, but that's what we're doing. Because he's got some really good photos. You had some like that I hadn't seen. Like I've been following the, the hashtag SWCB feed for a couple days, and not obviously not when I'm supposed to be working. I would never do that. But
no. Just when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, he's covered some. He's got some good shots too, and
yeah, we'll post those somehow, either in the forums or whatever.
Yeah, I'm in the process of uploading some pictures to the Facebook. I'm up to 200. I've got probably another 100-ish to go pictures. I mean, everything I saw. There's a whole section of art helmets that were up for auction for charity, and a lot of actual art that was pretty awesome. Some perspective art and stuff. So a lot of stuff going up on my Facebook, which is kind of weird because I've never done this before, so it's taken me forever. Like, usually Jen is the one that takes care of the pictures and the Facebook and stuff. This is the first time that I've ever even touched Facebook besides saying, Facebook bookmark, messages no, exit.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
John,
go ahead.
For someone, who's kind of just read about this on the internet, kind of describe what exactly is it?
It is what?
The celebration that you, just try to describe.
Okay. It's pretty much like any other convention if you've ever been to a convention. All people of whatever persuasion of convention you're talking about, in this case the Star Wars, so basically everyone that's there is into Star Wars or dating someone that is into Star Wars.
Well, they actually...
You can definitely tell that they look unhappy.
You can tell the people, like, the girl or guy that's running ahead, like, oh, let's get this picture, and then the person behind him with the camera, like, motherfucker.
Yeah, goddamn.
The only thing I'll say is different about the celebrations, though, is like when people think convention, I don't think they understand how big the celebrations are. Though they started out as they tied in with the three prequels, and then they kind of just kept doing them.
Yeah,
but, you're at the one down there, and it looks massive.
It is. They've got the convention center building. I don't have any idea how big it is. Normally, like MegaCon, for example, they would only take up like a third or a half of the building, and the Star Wars Celebration literally reserved the entire campus. Like, ridiculous. I mean, like, I drove up to go parking, and there was a security guard that, like, you here for Star Wars? I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, this parking is a long walk. You're going to want to go across the street. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? He's like, this concourse is parking for Star Wars, but the actual building is over there, about a quarter mile. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I was like, so anyway, so it was pretty interesting, and tons of awesome costumes, tons of awesome stuff. I mean, there was a whole laser tag section where people in outfits will go up against either other people in outfits or like the full movie quality suits, or they had
awesome.
they had
like
other sessions. Yeah, holding blasters. That the laser rifle, the laser guns look like blasters.
Do they have the crossbow Chewbacca one?
I didn't see one, but I didn't stick around the laser tag for too long because I'm trying to see all the other stuff. So I'm not sure. The one where it was both teams in suits was pretty cool. But then there's ones where they take all people in Imperial Stormtrooper suits and then go up against a bunch of kids. So then they can live out like the rebels fighting off the Imperial Stormtroopers thing. And since the kids are so young, the guys in the Stormtrooper suits aren't really like trying hard. You know what I'm saying?
That's
No, that's how they shoot. That's how Stormtroopers shoot. They can't hit anything.
No, they're giving it all they got.
It'd be funny if there was shirts versus skins, and it was like the shirts for Stormtroopers, and then just playing against naked dudes.
No.
Yeah, so there's actually a couple of funny pictures
I
where
now
I
have
have
some
like,
questions for my husband about the name. Why he wants to
It's funny that you brought up the dudes in suits, because there are people that I've seen. I have pictures of that I'll be uploading that of like a guy in a Boba Fett helmet and a tuxedo, or like
Fuck
you
yeah,
know, like
why wouldn't that be there?
I posted that,
yeah.
but yeah, the ones you sent me that I posted like for timeliness are a little more blurry.
yeah, they're my like as we already said, my phone is pretty shitty, so the camera quality on that is like I think 0.5 megapixel or something, and so anyway, whatever the case, there's
Makes
a lot
me
of
so
cool
mad that you don't have a good camera right now.
Yeah, god
I
damn,
know.
you're
No,
such a waste.
This is actually one of the few times that I said, damn it, this is when I would actually be using the full functionality of my iPhone if I had one. Like, that was the few times that I thought, like, damn it, I should have had this already. But, oh well, no big deal, because I brought the digital camera and took hundreds of pictures. But, I mean, I don't even know how to explain how big this thing is. It's crazy.
But John, you don't know how to post pictures.
I'm working on that. I'm learning as I go.
You gotta fix it.
What I want to know is, if you go to the food court area, can you get blue milk?
I
There is
don't.
blue milk ice cream.
I don't know. I think it's possible, but I did see like Hoth Ices and
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. There's a lot of Star Wars themed food, at least in title. I didn't actually order any because I ate before I got there and stuff like that. But a lot of
How'd you
themes.
eat before you went there?
So I don't spend $12 on a bag of chips.
Did you go to the Hoth Ice Bar?
Yes, and it's not cold.
Oh, what the
Really?
fuck?
Oh, I ruined the... Oh, God, that sucks.
Oh, speaking of not cold, isn't it like 100 degrees down there in Lando?
Yes, it is. It is.
And there's people
Lando's
in, like, full-
Lando is indeed a hot bitch.
Isn't there people like in full like Vader costumes down there?
Yeah, I don't know how people are costuming in through
No,
there.
How are you doing that?
I've got better than that. I got people in Tauntaun costumes. I got people in the Big Yeti costumes. I mean,
Jesus.
there was actually one guy who had a fully built to scale. I don't know what it's called. The Big Yeti that not Anakin. Luke.
Wampa?
Luke's face. The Wampa. Yeah, huge to scale Wampa. He had stilts, a huge built outfit, the big freaking head and everything, all furry and stuff.
So how's the
funny
smell?
Yeah,
You can't cut those tauntauns for warmth down there.
yeah. Actually, funny thing. There's a Tauntaun sleeping bag, and the zipper is a lightsaber facing in.
Oh yeah. You
I
can
don't
get
know.
those at Thank
I'll
Geek.
see you in hell.
Yeah. So, a lot of cool stuff. A lot of toys, and I'm not a toy collector personally. I'm more of like that too. But not a toy collector like toys like action figures and ships and stuff. I'm more of like a books collector myself. So I don't know, but I don't know. There's like you see like, oh this figure here, he's $700. I'm like, why? Why is he $700?
Because
there's only 5
he stands there and he looks awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, I had a friend there. One of my friends was there. He collects stuff all the time, and he is looking for a specific set, and he's finishing it out. Luckily, his set is like $5 an action figure. So, but he collects, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Whatever you dig, no big deal. There was some cool stuff since I'm a book guy. There was one particular one called the Jedi Path book that's actually on pre-order for Amazon. It retails at like 100, but it's like on pre-order for 60 for some reason. Oh, wow. And it's essentially like a Jedi handbook. It has the anatomy of a lightsaber, all the descriptions of the Force powers, what Jedis use, and what to watch out for when you're fighting against Sith, and the invention. Stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's sort of, but it's like having the zombie survival guide.
Yeah.
It's like fun to read. Just to be like, oh, this is cool. Like, and it comes in this really badass case. You press a button on it, and the doors slide open real slow, and the book floats upwards.
What?
It's pretty.
That does sound awesome.
Even
$60, huh?
Yeah, $60 for that thing on Amazon. I think it's called the Jedi Path or the Jedi Order or something.
And how much is it down there?
It's down here for 100. They're raffling off one every day for free. You know, I haven't gotten contacted, unfortunately, but in any case, so there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, there's even a book that there's one people are making. You know, people collect toys, as I was saying. Yeah. There's one group of people, and I forget the company. I have the flyer around here somewhere. They're making a book that started off as a project to say, hey, we want to have a book that has every single toy that ever went to production.
Oh my God.
And this thing turned out to be, they were like, oh, let's do like a 1-volume thing, whatever. That turned out to be like a 2-volume, huge, like double Bible thing. And they're like, well, we don't have a price yet because we're not done. And we're still, you know, we have to scale it up based on how much we spend and stuff like that. But this thing, they literally have pictures that they have taken themselves of every single item that ever gone to production that they've bought themselves, and so the consistency is really where it's at. Like a lot of the times you have people that are collecting and they want to try and find unique pieces, and people steal pictures from all over the internet to say this is basically what I have, you know, like, and it's not for collectors. That's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for that's basically the Luke Skywalker edition of whatever. They want to know exactly, you know, they want to know, like, I want that one. So it's like consistent, and they have every single picture is taken by their one photographer in person, you know, with their SLR, high quality, whatever thing, camera. You know, anyway, so that thing is like, for people that are collecting toys, that's the book to get. Holy crap. Like my friend, he's like, oh my God, I'm pre-ordering this. I don't even know what to say. Like, he was like, it's like, okay, that's cool. You know, but
how many more days? Is there 2 more days?
Yeah, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So basically,
are you going
Thursday, back? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So I'll have probably around 300 pictures per day.
Nice. Now,
so basically, like Thursday was pretty slow. Surprisingly, you know, I mean, it's not surprising, but Thursday is usually a slow day, and then Friday today was way busier. Saturday is usually the peak day, as you can tell from ticket sales. Like, tickets on Thursday was like, okay, you want to get it today, it's like 40. Friday was like 50. Saturday is like 75. Like, they know that everybody goes on Saturday. And Sunday is usually clearance day. So like shirts, paraphernalia, all that stuff is usually going to be like deals. So like stuff that normally costs $5, it'll be like buy 2 get 1 free or something like that, you know. So I'm looking forward to Sunday to actually buy some stuff, but
I have to ask. I went to Celebration 2 and 3, and I missed it on Celebration 2, and I saw it in 3. Is the Star Wars Trilogy in 30 Minutes show there?
It is. The one dude doing it by himself?
No, I'm talking there's a group of people. There's probably like 5 or 6 people that do it.
What's the group called, though?
I couldn't tell you, though. I just know it from that show.
Is it Last Tour to Endor?
I don't know. I could probably try to find my old program, but it's pretty amazing.
There's a ton of events. I don't even know how, like, to be honest, you go to the con, you could go to this, not go to a single booth and spend your entire day in panels and events and shows and stage shows and all that kind of stuff, and not even get to see half of it, which is ridiculous. They have overlapping shows and stuff like that. Like, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to go to this show. Meanwhile, when I got there was like 50,000 people already in line, and I was like, well, theater's not that big. So I was like, okay, let me just turn around and go do something else. And but I was looking at like, oh, it's a good thing I didn't do that, because I would have missed this, you know, like, you know, stuff like that, because you have to really pick and choose what you're going to do, and it really, in a way, kind of encourages you to go to more than one celebration, really.
It is a crazy event.
So, like, you have to go to multiple to even see the majority of the stuff, and even then, it's like, for example, people that have gone to all the previous ones but didn't come to this one, this is Mark Hamill's first one that he's ever been to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has not been to any one. This is actually being a big deal as him debuting, as it were, in the celebration and his autograph show, because they're like $125 a pop. Meanwhile, Carrie Fisher is like 50 or 75, and then everyone else is 20.
Is it sad that if I got to ask him a question, it'd probably be about him being the Joker?
That's probably not sad.
You know what? I actually thought about that, and I overheard some other people talking at the table, and they were like, "Oh, you know, when I got in there to do the autograph, I didn't even ask. I was asking about like how he just came up to being Joker or something like that. You know, they were talking about the voice and if he's doing stuff like that. So, It's not
Supposedly, the next Batman game's his last hurrah of doing it.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of sad because he's so good at it.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. He's really good at it. I love, oh god, the way he's done that.
So,
But is there anything in the next couple days that you're looking forward to seeing, or I mean, you're planning anything out?
Like, is Lando just gonna bang a chick on stage?
I hope.
well, the thing is, Lando's not there.
He was at the-
Billy
he was
D
at-
is there. Someone had
What else is he doing?
someone got their shoes signed yesterday and posted it on Twitter.
Oh, did he end up showing? Yeah. See, as far as I knew, he wasn't showing up. So maybe the petition to change the name to Lando, probably he was like, well, I gotta go now. I gotta go to my city.
I haven't seen a picture of him, but someone posted that they, like, oh, I got these autographed by Billy D, and like they were, the Star Wars Adidas shoes signed by Billy D.
Maybe he was just like hanging out in the parking lot.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he's just hanging out in the parking lot. Like, yeah, I'm not getting paid to do this, so I'm not.
I didn't get invited to this.
I guess it could have been, I guess anyone could have scribbled, his name on a pair of shoes, but.
William D. Williams.
It's actually funny that you brought up being a picture with him because supposedly, and I don't know if this is true, this is pure speculation, but someone was one of the person from IGN who was there was someone else at the table when I was chatting with that guy, and he was saying how there was a booth to take pictures with the celebrities, but it's only for certain times. Like, there's only a half-hour window, so only a certain amount of people can sign up, and it's like really expensive and stuff like that. So instead of getting an autograph, you could go to one side of the thing, and the other side was doing a photograph with them, but no autograph, and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't know. To me, I don't really need the autograph. I just want the picture. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd rather have the picture.
Yeah, an autograph means like nothing to me.
Well, the people that are getting autographs are either collecting autographs because they love that, or they're selling it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, I'm like, I don't care about selling it. I just want the picture, like, up on the Facebook, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, look, I was with this person. Like, I met them.
I was hanging out with him, and then we went and banged some chicks. It was awesome.
Yeah, me and Lando. Woo!
John,
So-
you're so lucky that you're in Orlando and that you knew about this event.
Yeah, I pretty much am, but it's all thanks to you.
Oh,
As
is
I'm
it?
sure, I'm sure you were trying.
I don't think she was
try
fishing
out.
for that at all.
Yeah, I don't think she was. Whatever.
My last question, real quickly. Did you see the Old Republic on display at all? Is that there?
I think that was a rumor because I have not seen it.
It is there.
And then again, Saturday is the biggest.
She's not there. She fucking knows.
No, yeah, absolutely, it's there.
there
You have
was-
no fucking idea.
there was a panel today with BioWare, and they did like an artist thing where the guy actually
that was
concept art for BioWare.
That was an art show. That was an art
No,
show,
no.
basically.
No, she knows, and actually the story listed that you were the shitter, so she knows.
That was a thing, and people posted that like they didn't release any new information at all though. Like, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a BioWare panel is supposed to be out like I think Sunday.
Now he's gonna agree with you.
Yeah,
No, what I'm
yeah,
saying.
absolutely. Yeah.
No, but like think about it. What they were just released art, and then they were like,
Yeah,
"This is
it was-
cool, right?" And then
You're gonna tell her to
Bye.
think about it.
I'm in Michigan, bitch. I know it.
Oh,
I'm just saying, like,
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm totally sorry.
I really considered going to that, and I was like, wait, that's an art reveal. And then again, the IGN. When I was chatting with the IGN guy, he was like, well, there's no information being released there, and I was like, oh well, fuck that. Like I'm cool with art, but I'm not an artist, so it doesn't so it doesn't really hit me like it would for some other, like for an actual artist that's like, oh, that's so awesome with the style, blah blah blah. I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's about the game?
They said some stuff like, oh, you're, if you're going to play a scoundrel, then, you're going to be so BA that, like, Han Solo would shake his head and just retire because you're going to be at a super high level of, like, how badass you are and all this. It was weird. But, like, those were quotes from Twitter. Like, I wasn't there, obviously, so.
No, John was.
John was.
But he doesn't give a shit about what was going on.
Sorry.
You know what makes me so fucking jealous
No,
of your life,
it's so
John?
huge.
Is that you had no idea that this existed, and then Shannon told you like what on Wednesday,
Like,
and you're like,
Wednesday
oh,
night.
that's weird, and then like an hour later, like, oh yeah, I bought every ticket, like I'm going every ticket.
Yes.
Yeah, no, honestly, this
Graf.
is seriously what happened. Like Shannon on Wednesday was like, "So you going to the Star Wars convention?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, I've been
And
trying to
she's
get
like-
a hold of you too for like at least 2 days too. Like we had been playing phone tag, but yeah.
We have been actually. So she was like, "You going to the convention?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "The Star Wars convention in Orlando tomorrow." And I was like,
Like where you live.
and I was like, and I seriously, I was like, I didn't know about that. What is it? You know, like she's like the celebration. It's only been on Twitter for. Oh wait. And I was like, oh well, there you go. So and then I was like, oh okay. So I went home and bought my 4-day pass.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shannon said
Because
to
I-
do this.
John, I hate you and I love you.
I know.
You know, it's like so
But mostly hate
that's what I
you.
did because I was at work or on my way home from work or something. So I went home, bought the 4-day pass, and called my wife at work and said, "Hey, by the way, I'm going to this convention for the next 4 days.
See you in 5 days.
I'll see you on Monday. I'll see you on Monday."
Love you, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, like you can't rip on John for like either if he doesn't know about like one thing. Like he said, it is so huge. Someone said like that convention center is like the second biggest in like America. It's like huge, like huge. So there's so many things going on. There's no way one person could know and cover everything going on at the same time.
And you know what? Here's the thing, right? Since my job, the pharmacy I work in is probably like a mile away or 2 miles away from the convention center.
And
so
you didn't
all
even
of
know
my-
it was there. That's
No,
okay,
no,
go
but
ahead.
no, listen. So every single day, all I see are people from conventions. So when people are like, "Oh, I'm here for a convention," I'm like, "Okay," you know, like. So
Getting these rubbers
Here's
at
your
the
crab
pharmacy.
medicine, whatever.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like when people are like, "I'm here for a convention," I don't even ask like, "Oh, that's cool," or you know, whatever. I'm just like,
Have you had any
"Oh,
stormtroopers come in?
Actually, I did not see any because I was there already. But my coworker said that they saw a couple of Jedis in the store, and I don't think they saw any of the people in actual full suits of armor. But they said they saw one Anakin and then another couple Jedis with them and stuff like that. So
These are not the Trojans I'm looking for.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. I'm looking for bigger rubbers.
Excuse me, would you have any
Is the
magnums?
force strong with him?
No.
Yeah. I need some magnums for my lightsaber.
Some sheaths.
Good God.
Anyways, well, that's awesome that you are there.
You want to walk back to your car now, John?
Hey, my coworker's there. Did you say hi to him?
Yeah, he's there. You see him?
He's the guy with the hat.
He was the guy who wore the shirt.
Did you wave to him?
Oh, the guy with the hair. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
see him actually. You have to excuse
Okay,
the sound.
oh,
I'm
he's
actually,
walk- he's
I'm
walking
actually
back
walking
to the
back
car.
out.
Yeah.
I came out of the quiet room.
He likes
but,
to honk his horn to people. Maybe that was...
Yeah. Oh, that guy. Oh,
He's a
yeah. He must be a
douchebag.
cab driver. Yeah. So anyway, but I forgot to say I found a Gamorrean guard while I was there.
It's a
The only-
Gamorrean.
Gamorrean.
It's Gamorrean.
It's
Fucking
Gamorrean.
idiot.
God. That's what I call it.
Why are you there and none of us?
Oh my God.
It's Paz's promises. It's Gamorrean, whatever. Anyway.
You said Gamorrean. Fucking real.
Anyways, get in your
yeah.
car so we can talk again.
Oh my God! Shut up.
I'm still walking to the car. God dang.
No,
It's a long walk
wait.
to the car from the convention center.
Jason said Gamorrean wrong one time, and I corrected him, and he just stops and he looks at me, and he looks so like dead evil at me, and I'm like, what? He goes, "You're a wife. You are not supposed to know." He
You
was
listen to more on Star Wars than
he
me.
was so pissed that I corrected him.
Well, I was so pissed because as soon as she said it, I realized, like,
How
God damn
wrong
it,
you
he's
were.
right. My wife is right about Star Wars.
Oh, did I mention that there was a life-size TIE fighter there?
I saw that
I've
picture.
seen pictures of that. Yeah, the one you sent me. That is awesome.
Can
that
you get
thing
in
is
it?
easy. No, but you can get up right up under it. But there is a snow speeder, or the snow, whatever it's called,
You can get
from
in it.
the Hoth battle.
Nice.
The Hoth battle, the flying things. Yeah, those those thingamajiggers.
I want to get in it.
I'm familiar with that movie.
Yeah. That movie with
Gamorrean.
the big walkers, that shoot
Gamorreans.
lasers.
Yeah.
And they're
You can-
coming
One
You
that's
can
wearing
get on.
Crocs.
You can get on one of the stormtrooper bikes too on indoor.
Yeah, I took a couple of pictures of that. Since I was by myself most of the time, I don't have any pictures of me with stuff. But
Right.
but in
What
any
about
case,
all your fans of Multiplaying
Yeah.
who recognize your
Those
voice?
people that-
Could they get a picture of you?
Oh my God, that's John.
Oh my God, you're Paz, aren't you?
I recognize your voice.
Wait, you know how they recognize him? He was clicking shit.
yeah. Especially I was sticking around with a bottle cap, and they were like, "Oh my God, Paz."
Fuck you, Paz.
He's just walking around the place going, Paz's promises. That's Paz's promises.
No. I walked around going like this. Psh.
Did you say to anybody, if I give you $50, will you tell me that I matter?
Oh.
Oh my gosh. No, I didn't. But I'll do that tomorrow.
I would if I would.
You will blow through some money, pal.
Yeah. The other really cool thing I saw was a Chef Vader. No, this is cool. There was a Chef Vader dressed up in like the full white, chef suit with the chef hat and everything, but the actual Vader mask and black pants and stuff, holding a big old platter with a nice large head of Jar Jar Binks with eyes crossed out and an apple in his mouth.
Yes.
He was walking around with a big old spatula like, "You guys hungry?"
Yes. People did not enjoy Jar Jar.
No.
Yeah.
I like Chef Vader though. That's a good idea.
Who said he loved our fucking Jar Jar?
I just
I
did
said
that too. I'm inciting a riot.
Shut up. You shut up, Dean.
I love you, Jar Jar.
Shut up, Dean.
Dean, you're not allowed to be on the podcast anymore.
I think in like 10 years that'll be like the cool thing to do.
No,
to just
it will
piss people
never.
off. Like Jar Jar was great. Because who liked him? Nobody. I remember watching episode 1, like in the movie theater with my brother, and he's laughing at Jar Jar, and I looked at him and had that total disgust.
You
Like,
just want to punch him in his
Why
face.
are you laughing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be some sort of communique.
Not to break up the Star
We
Wars
gotta
talk.
get out of here.
Huh? But it's damn hot in the office.
It is.
We did have some listener feedback. Do you want to move on?
Sure. Awesome.
I had... Oh, God, I gotta find it now.
Well, first off, we have no iTunes reviews.
Aww.
Because nobody loves it. We had 25 people that loved us, and then nobody else loved us. So if you want to show us your love, there's iTunes. You can put a review there. But
I'm
if you
noticing-
don't,
it's a program by Apple.
yeah, might have heard of it.
You might have heard of it. A lot of our people listen to us like direct from our site, which is,
That's
which is fine. But, you can subscribe through certain RSS feed type of things, and then it's just delivered to you automatically, and you never have to worry about missing a show.
That's right.
But
you don't want to miss this.
Yeah, you want to miss all this? Anyway, a few people tonight were kind of surprised. They didn't really realize we ever did the show live. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, through technical difficulties because we're all kind of morons. So
Lately we don't. Yeah.
you know what? Frankly, I just don't want to do my makeup.
That's the technical difficulty.
Yeah, I'm in my jammies and I'm done. That's my deal. I don't know what your deal is.
Yeah.
We did have a question tonight, though, on Twitter from Shinobi, and the question is, what beer would you recommend for someone's first drink? I was going to say for someone's first beer. What beer would you recommend for someone's first drink? And so specifically as a first beer, for someone who is of legal age to drink, of course, I would probably recommend a good microbrew blonde because they're really light and easy, but they have better flavor than what you're going to get out of a like a Bud Light or a Coors Light or something like that. You're going to get something more flavorful but easy.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm
Depends. Well, if you're like Steve and you don't like beer,
Yeah.
what
If you
type
like
of beer?
but I mean, if it's your first beer, you wouldn't know if you like beer or not.
Right.
True. I mean, you could try anything and go, yeah, I like that, or no, I don't. And if you're like me and you tried beer and go, no, that tastes like shit. But if you're again like me and you are a fanatic about candy, especially like gummy bears, Haribo or Haribos are the only good ones, by the way.
Okay, so if you like sugar.
If you like sugar, sugar, that white boy likes sugar. I highly recommend Lindemans. You might be able to find it at. You're not gonna probably find it at like a Walmart or a Meijer or anything like that. You're gonna have to go to a liquor store to find it. It's a little bit pricier per bottle, but it is so good. And try to get the raspberry. It's their biggest selling one, and for a good reason.
Another thing. Oh.
I was just going to say my recommendation is go to a nice pub and get a taster of several different kinds of microbrews, period, just off tap, and figure it out from there.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Because I prefer dark beer, which actually most people who, when they first are drinking beer, like, it's an acquired taste, but some people...
like dirt.
Well, you didn't like dark beer when you first started drinking. I mean, when we met, Shannon, you didn't.
I never had it before. I had always dated people who were like, oh, you're a girl, you won't like that, sweetie.
Right.
Here's your boons.
Yeah.
Here's some boons.
Right, but you did exactly what Dean said. We got some testers.
Got some samplers, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I like this. Yeah.
You need the taster. You need to get that experience of getting a microbrew on tap and then being like, I like this one, and then get yourself a pint, and it's history.
For some other friends that I know that say they don't like beer, but then they find a beer they do really enjoy. A lot of the strawberry blondes that are out, strawberry shortcake blondes, the fruitier type of beer mixes with the blends, those can be a nice transition to beer as well. If you are of legal age to drink, of course.
Yes, 21.
If you're under 21, at least get an uncle to buy you beer.
No. Take it back.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go! All the plants are going to die.
Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.
All right, I'm reading this, we're answering it, and I'm opening up the fucking door and putting the fan in here. Holy crap. Emails. We got one. Shut up. From Rare. God, it's...
I bet it smells great in there.
It's so sweaty.
You should just put your head as far down as you can and just inhale.
No, oh God.
Take a big whiff. What's that smell like?
Yeah! What is happening?
And I gotta shave this
probably smells like Star Wars Celebration right now.
Probably does. It feels like I'm wearing Darth Vader's costume.
Wait.
Shut up. Email.
But SkyTurd is now following me on Twitter.
SkyTurd?
Yeah. SkyTurd, bitch.
Oh,
all right, go ahead.
When I look up at the sky, I always want a big turd above me.
Email.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys.
God damn it.
The old person.
No.
Okay, God, Jesus Christ.
Besides Pezzalupo, I would say the person to follow for information is on Twitter is TB5918. And he is awesome. He has all these cool pictures of stormtroopers and hot tubs and at the pool and hanging out. It's really cool. But anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
Email.
Dean, what'd you have for dinner?
Email.
Okay, no, seriously,
No email.
seriously.
No email.
I haven't had dinner yet.
Email.
We're done.
Email.
We're done.
Email.
Cutting it off. I'm going to shut the fucking Skype off.
Email.
You son of a bitch.